I don't even know. Corner's a good place to put this. Anyways.
Thanks for the walk-ons. I definitely need it. Getting dunked.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Just don't act.
These things all connected now? Okay. This is working. For what little I care about it.
Where do we want? Walk off, maybe?
Fran's back?
This is like a super hard mode of FFT. Basically, that's the longest.
I'm catching the end of Brood's thing here while I set up.
It's hard. It's not playing around.
I'm just gonna play this for a little bit. I have to get this set up
Dude.
and just see how it's working. Ron is back. Oh dear.
When is her next? I could just keep. Let's do this.
Oh dear. Kamigawa. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have time
5
to do
damage,
this
nice.
though.
And he
I
auto
wanna do
potions.
this.
It's so cool, Alex.
Man, maybe we're gonna get draft time. Oh dear.
Dude, I can't get you.
I really want to play this though. I really do. Oh, PAX went back up.
Can't get away.
Well. I'm sure it won't be the last Swiss draft of this. But they're trying. It's gonna fill. Trade Routes is in there. I don't
So
know
that
who any of
actually
these
does
other
have a
people
chance of
are.
giving him-
Elvinus I beat last time.
Okay. So, I should have seen that.
So
How
tempted
am I
just to
gonna
join
get it?
this. Wow. They'll find ways. If it started at 6 p.m. on a Monday, it'll probably start at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday. So I have no idea if text is going to be too small or what. But I'm mucking with it here, watching the end of Brood's thing. Brood's thing has like 50. I wonder if Brood's actually going to win this fight or not.
She's fine.
I'm trying to find
It's
out.
one arrow. How low could her HP be?
Caught up for tomorrow. He's playing through the thing
Let
that
your
I did
governorial training begin.
here.
First, you must learn the basics of constructing Roman
How low
settlements.
could it be?
Build areas of housing, and you'll soon see people move into
We're
your
like
city.
probably gonna end up losing
You
this.
can click and drag the mouse to build lengths of path at once. Plan paths carefully, with as few intersections as possible, to ensure people will walk where you want them to. At every intersection,
The big
walkers
mistake
must
here-
choose which way to go. Each intersection
mistake
lessens your
here
control
is-
over their actual routes.
The
Not
objectives: population 150. Immediate goals: build some houses. And what you'll notice,
Big. You're-
oh, it is already on very hard. Oh, I'm way too smart. Okay. This is just a tutorial. So you see there's an arrow coming in and out of town. It really wants to continue scrolling that way. That's okay. There is a zoom in button.
It does.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ram's still there. She's living her best life. No, this isn't Maluda. It's worse.
Why is my scroll?
It's worse. time limit.
when I hit this, it scrolls. I'm afraid to hit
This
it.
dude hits like
Because
a-
last time I hit that, it broke
We
it.
get him. Nice.
Like basically, I have this square.
August
Don't
don't.
break. That fixed the problem, so it was stuck in 10, 12 mode.
Oh,
We need
no.
100 and something pop. For whatever reason,
Oh, dude, don't be doing that.
clear
That's-
land has to happen prior to building things.
that's-
I don't remember what happens in this tutorial. I think they unlock some things.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, we like that.
Those are people moving in.
It's just gonna
Oh, that's
have a high
great.
chance. Okay.
Okay, so we can never build 3 width. Normally your citizens. Hey, Caesar. Ah, it's your game. It's your game, Caesar.
Okay, that'll hit. Wonder why those ones hit him.
Interesting that they don't have. I remember this being a thing though. I do wish I could zoom in a little bit, but I did mess. There's only have so many modes to work with, so I apologize if it's like super zoomed
It's like
out.
none of them though.
I love Pronzo's emotes, they're too good. Should probably give people water access. Also, we only need like 150 people. So I should probably turn off Brood now that someone's here. I don't know if you've been watching Brood's. Brood's playing through FFT 1.5, but this is literally the last 5 minutes of the stream, and he's on. He is on the Argus, Argus.
Ooh.
He's got a cornered, and he's just basically beating him
Yeah,
down.
they are. So I don't know why.
with arrow
that's not
fire.
working.
And this is the
That's
end of chapter 1 stuff. Oh, great! Buildings collapse.
Look, he's just gonna res.
So there's a series of walkers in this game, and the walkers walk by buildings and basically provide whatever service that they give.
Now he's still trying.
Ugh.
Do you think the poison works?
And one thing that we have to derive. Of course, there's poor maintenance. It's the city that Nero built. Well, good news.
Honestly, I
You
would.
haven't
I would
missed a
most
whole
like
lot.
him to-
And he's only been doing it about a week.
Look, you know, 'cause this dude gives like an enormous amount of damage.
Well, whenever population comes in, I don't recall this game not having auto bulldoze.
9 damage.
Maybe that's a Scissor 2 thing.
Maybe he's at a range.
You
Oh,
got
no, I'm
through
out of
those
money.
Funds quickly. Try to make
Oh
these
yeah,
new
we've
funds last
definitely
longer.
been using the weapon.
I made him mad.
Yeah, they're really good.
There used to be a button to just skip the
They've
tutorial.
been a lot of help.
Because I don't think any money or anything carries over from this mission, so we gotta build temples. Please the gods. If we don't, gods will get mad. In fact, 50 each. Also, the amount of rescue funds we
We'll
got
see if
because
he
we ran
actually
out of
turns
money.
into a chicken.
Not much. But yeah, he's basically around like end of chapter 1, and
Lita.
like this is a good time to get in because this is when the game is going to. There we go. And we don't have a choice but to accept the promotion. What is it?
Congratulations! You've grasped
We'll never see this
basics to
screen
my
again.
satisfaction. In the interest of advancing your education, I have one more gentle assignment for you. Onward to Brundisium.
Brundisium.
Your priorities should be security, housing, food, and water in that order. Without housing and food, new immigrants will not move into your city. Rome now wishes your city to grow food. Build a farm on fertile land. Look for the yellow tufts that indicate this. Connect it to housing with a path. If the housing is too far away,
Don't
the
know what
farm
he's gonna
will
do.
not get access to labor.
Toledo?
Build a granary near to the farm and make sure that it too has access to labor. When the wheat is ripe, a cart will carry it to the granary.
Yeah, he's got most of his stuff is busted.
Cool.
The fewer empty windows you can see, the fuller the granary is.
Wall be in the way. Maybe.
Yeah, so when the granaries fill up, you'll see the thing. And when I clicked out, I must have messed up the thing. So you got markets. Markets you have to build near the granary because that's how people actually get the food.
I wonder why it is not hitting it. Huh.
One of the traders brings food from the granary back to the market.
This
The
works.
other trader walks past houses distributing the food.
Oh, that was such a good chance to hit.
Warehouses hook up the market the same way for any built commodity. So our goal in this one is to get to a population of 650. I
Is he
still
still
think we have no access.
Does Charm show up? I think the poison tick is getting rid of his charm.
No access to the other. This is a game that forces you to play the tutorial. So all the fertile land is down here. I'm just gonna take out. How much does it cost? Take them out. These trees are just gonna get in the way. And I don't think trees actually add anything in this game. It's useful. Like this.
Nice.
And progress is going to be pretty slow for what Brood's doing, so. What I'm curious about is if
Those
road
are both-
access is
those
2
are definitely-
tiles, because that's going to be inevitably
I
important.
would like to block off hitting here.
So I'll build these right on top. I don't remember the best way to build
This
roads
one
in
we-
this game. Because basically walkers are generated from buildings. And anytime they hit an intersection, they have to figure out
No, we can make
where
it
they
over
want to
here.
go.
That's-
I don't know. I have a feeling that doing it this way is going to be what I want to do.
You're saying no. Whoa.
'Cause if they have a length of 2, that means doing something like this would be ideal.
Yeah, this is
Prefixture on each corner. Put an engineer's post on each corner. Shut up, game. I just built the thing. We're gonna need a granary. Generally, people don't want to live next to the granary, but in this scenario, they will. Need a market. People don't like to live near the market either. If I look at query, there's not even a house there yet, so we can't query it.
come on.
This building is not, it's not adjacent to a road and has no access.
Work.
Easy enough.
Tita's. Yeah, quick, get to Tita. Res her. I tried. I did. Don't hit yourself, dude. Mistakes.
So we're gonna have all the food you'll ever need.
3 fights. Yeah, we got through 3 fights. We're big time gamers.
It's water
now.
access.
There was mistakes made in this one. There was a critical error made. That would have been
well doesn't really go very far now, does it?
It's over, Yogi. I don't think we're coming back. We're too worn out now. Let's see if this will work. Man,
Okay, this is risk of collapse. You see, now we have a fire. Then the game may have crashed. Oh no.
maybe we can just kill them.
Oh, there's no worker here. That's... oh no, there is. In the previous game, they put up little flags when they're working. Why is there no auto
They don't have to
bulldoze? I don't remember there not being an auto bulldoze, but I believe it. I remember having to clear out large portions of the land. I'm gonna put a well in the middle of this because I don't know if they're gonna give me access to something better. Of course, providing water.
Buddy's healing us. Easy. This is a ton of insanely tough.
It does look like he's gonna
As
finish
long
this
as Ramsey
scenario.
doesn't turn into a crystal, which can happen like any turn.
Yeah, Algus hit 60% health, and oh, he's
Oh.
got spin fisted. Oh, it's gonna be a terrible end to the stream for him. So now we can build reservoirs. Reservoirs, you can build and use aqueducts to other reservoirs.
It doesn't do much. Is it regular time?
Then we'll show you a filled reservoir.
He got hit with an unfortunate well, I'm out of time too, so we're gonna have to pick this back up tomorrow.
Oh no!
We'll have a good strat. Yeah, his bow is busted though.
He game
Algus
over.
had nothing on. We
His
broke
bow's not that
absolutely
busted.
everything.
But you wouldn't know
We broke everything.
until you actually win with it out being busted. That's the stream from Boot. Okay, we need to provide water to the city, so we'll do this. This. Why do I not have any? I must not have any workers. How are we doing on desirability? Oh, we just have Twent dwellers, so we don't even have the query tool to know. There are people moving into the city, though. That's something. Okay, now we have access to bathhouses, gardens, and entertainment. And so one thing you always want to keep... Well, we have plenty of food, right? Plenty of food from the market. Yeah, I think ideally what I should have done was build a loop like this, put all of the things inside that really happen. Oh, this isn't even connected via road. Mars is unhappy that I have no military. But there's no citizens to work. There's not enough employees either. Building collapses are very annoying in this game, typically. Want to avoid them. The game gives you a nice messaging system. Kind of messed this one up. Let's see if we can fix it. Maybe just put all this stuff down the middle. Like this, maybe. We have like 0 population. Okay, well, Ceres is mad. I guess I just build one of each to quell their wrath. 'Cause I don't think that they need to actually. I don't think your religion stuff needs to be passed in order for them to not be mad at you. To give me an idea of what these guys have water. This land has pipe access. But we can't go any further. Yes, stick damage. So it looks like you get 3, 6, 9, 12... about 15 tiles of protection. Okay, we need to get more food happening. We need to appease people more because we don't have enough workers. I'm trying to understand why this is not, we must not have enough workers, I think is the primary issue. What crimes? Do prefix only? Well, here he is. Here's our walker. So when we go to certain overlays, you can see the change in... Do they always turn right in this game? They always go up to the right. Out of workers again. But you can see as he passes the... It's not even going down. Well, that's not good. It'd just be the density. There's also Kent City, so... Man, if I have to pull out the manual for Wait a second, can I get baths over here? So you can't really see it very well, but I can tell with these baths that there's water. So the issue I have is just there's no employment in the whole city. And you can see there's actually people
Greetings.
leaving.
I'm new to this place. Do you know of anywhere to live? I've heard there are jobs here.
They're all moving out because of Tent City. So religion access. Yeah, it looks like 12 to 15 tiles is around the actual number. But you'll notice here that it looks like, oh, I guess this one goes south, because these are all on the edge. Okay, so they're basically, so it is like Caesar 2. Caesar 2 that might have had the right-hand rule. But you can see these are just the religious guys walking. You got school coverage. Well, the water is an issue. This has to have something. I don't know. Let's find out. I don't have any tax income, so let's fix that. Well, I got a whole bunch of money infused. Oh, now I actually have access to the Kazakhs. I forgot this game forces you to play the tutorial. We are on very hard, but very hard doesn't really affect the This game is just difficult. We do not have enough people. How you doing, Kazakhs? Debating what I want to do here. Like, obviously food production is a problem, but we built way too many farms. Oh dear. This is the rare mission that only has 2 bathhouses. One is working, allegedly. So I hope that's not a bug. Well, one working, it may not have water. So never mind. Gods are happy. We're not taxing anyone. We're not storing food. So I don't know why they're saying, like, food is out. Like, I don't have... Prefixtures are way less effective. I actually I can tell you what it is. I don't need the Empire. I can tell you what it is here. I'm actually part of one of the forums that had the starting favor and mood changes based on hard difficulty level. So the original setting to the game, I think, is hard, which is you just get 100% of starting cash, money to bail you out, and tax income. And for every additional difficulty of hardness, the starting favor and mood, which is your happiness, goes down by 10. So prefixtures are not worse, and there isn't more crime, but because the happiness is lower, there's going to be more crime, if that makes sense. You're always going to have an annoyed city for the amount of population that I currently have. They just note here that once you hit 200 to 300 people, their baseline annoyance level is annoyed. And invasions are also scaled to hard and with a 20% difference based on difficulty. So you're right. You're certainly feel it's just that there isn't. Which reminds me, is there a way just to see? So everyone's got theater coverage, so that's good. We got to solve the water crisis, though. Oh, there we are. The baths are working. It's just this reservoir is not working. Probably because there's no people that actually are getting there to work. What if I add a couple people here? I'm still trying to understand this. People are eating more food than they're producing issue. There's no way. Unless I need another market over. Can I see market coverage? Commerce? Okay, maybe the market coverage is not, perhaps that's the issue right now. I figured this market would cover things, and it didn't. This one has poor access to employees, and that's going to be citywide, because there's not enough people in the city. I think we just have a straight-up food access issue. No, I'm not. No, I checked it. That was the only thing. Hey, Fortuna. Only thing that was noticeable when I was playing. It does make sense if mood is worse. Yeah, I think it's just everything is 10 lower. We can just play on hard. It's really not. I think Caesar 3, the difference is a lot more minimal. It's basically that mood thing is the major thing. Like once you know how to make money, and once you relearn how to do that. Reservoir doesn't need maintenance. You think so? So here's how I judge whether or not the reservoir is going to have water. You see this? See how this has water? If I go far enough away, I usually get 3 tiles. So the fact this has no water in it, despite being right here, no. I'm going to go with for free though, this anything next to the water has free. Okay, so this, you saw all the food just get carried there to the market. So the market now has food. So hopefully these people aren't pissed off anymore. I still think it requires workers. So the water one is huge. So like this one needs 10, there's not even enough employees for that, right? So if we go here, does it show water on this? No. I remember always having to, I sucked at managing I just always want to overbuild. And in this game, now I'm remembering, you really don't want to have empty buildings. Like, look at food production. Like, we're vastly under the required. But water services has 4. It could be, what's the other one that it could be part of? It could be part of governance. But that's also, I think, the religion things. But you notice we don't have enough workers, so I don't know, it could just be a bug where we had literally no workers. Like if I try building another one, no money. Okay, don't have anything. Well, it could just be a bug. That would suck. Because this one says this holds drinking water. Oh, one more time. Well, you saw there, it actually, the bath turned off. So yeah, this must be a bug. Never played this game, but studied a little bit of history. How's the economics of the Imperial Legion? Well, we haven't even got there's actually a whole trade system that's different than Caesar 2. You can always, yeah, definitely, the water view, I already checked the water view. The water view did what I expected it to do. Everything within so many tiles, which I don't know if this is, it's like 9 tiles or something. These all have what's known as pipe access to a reservoir, which is this guy. And what that means is you're allowed to basically build bathhouses, fountains, any building can do that. It's almost like the graphics are just flipping out for whatever reason. Maybe because I'm in windowed mode. But like this one works. Did you have an issue with this? Yeah, pretty much, Cossack. Because if you're on a very short leash. But yeah, if you had an issue with this display, then it's a thing. I'm using a file I found on the internet to make it to play in a massive window, like you were telling me. So that's all I know. I don't remember this in the regular game not working, so. As you can see, this annoyed population things. But now we're getting a few more people moving in. So we actually have a... So right now it's land value. I could have sworn you got a query button in this. It's in 2. But I guess you don't get it in this. There's no query. There's clearly no query tool here. But that does tell me that we're going to have to add, like, gardens or something. There we go. The Julius mod. I don't have the Julius mod. What do I actually have? Yeah, I was trying to build an aqueduct. But... Julius mod. Where's the Caesar folder? That is the DX Wind folder. I have the Jack Foost. If you know of a better mod, please link it, and I will try using that mod, and that probably fixes the problem. I only found something made by Spaceman and Jack Foost. Foosta. So that might have something to do with the issue. Caesar 3. Julius mod. An open source reimplementation of Caesar 3. Oh my goodness. Is it okay, what do I install? Because this is probably my problem. What have branches? Download release. Windows. Wow, this is now turned into a... Well, I just got it right off of, This is what I just got to. Just bookmarked the hell out of that. Let's see what we got. Yep, this is exactly what I have. Oh, absolutely, I have the base game. I own multiple copies of the base game. This game is way too good. Alright, so this is what we're going to attempt. We're going to save this game as is. Oh, do I just run the... Oh, boy. Okay, so how do I control whether or not it runs in a window and all that stuff? This is what we're going to try. We're going to exit this. We're going to leave the Empire. So did you have to do anything to get it to run into a window? Like, I'm just going to basically dump this in the Caesar directory and something's going to happen. Once I find the Caesar directory again. Alright, found the Caesar directory. And I'm just going to dump it in here, I guess. I'm sure there were actual instructions I could have read. Because that's what smart people do. Is they would actually read the directions. We all actually do that while waiting for you. Native resolution. Running the game. Game must be patched. What's the patch do, out of curiosity? This is one thing I don't know what the version... Let's see, I have a README in here. Oh man, reference cards. Well, I'm going to try to run it in a window. I have something set up to run it in a window. There's a program called DXWND. Say on here what version we're on. Nope. Nope. I don't know. We're going to find out. Usually GOG is pretty good about telling me what version the game is. Well, let's just run it and I'll capture it when we need to capture it. Options. Oh my god. Oh, this is way better. And I will fix the noise. Oh, this is even better. I mean, it's running in a borderless window. But if we can do a little bit better than a borderless window. Why is that open on my machine? It's not office hours time. People are not allowed to call me and start a conference call. Dude, you win, Kha'Zix. Why didn't you tell me that I asked you? Cursor scale, display scale. Fix immigration bug on very hard. I probably want both of those selected, because I do remember there being an issue where immigration just stops, and it's not what's supposed to happen. Extra information in the control panel. Enable smooth scrolling, disable map scrolling on the window edge. Show range. So one thing I'm not seeing is any way to control startup in a window or not. Let me see what this immigration bug is. But, I mean, I already can't see the, That was an issue. So yes, we can leave this on because it's a design issue. So if there's a vacant lot in your city that has more than one road touching it, and one of those roads doesn't have a path to roam, you have to delete the road to reset the immigration. So we'll leave that on. So that's more of an annoyance than a very hard immigration issue. Yep, we're actually gonna leave this on because I remember this being a thing in the game. Basically, your housing. This is actually, if you want to actually read what this is exclusive. This is a different issue. Oh, Alt-Enter? Hey, Biba. Oh, you're amazing. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, Kha'Zix, you're the best. You win. You win. Sorry, it's not going to be quite a... but I can move myself over here a little bit. It's not going to be a perfect... This will actually let me see chat, maybe? Question mark? Oh, baby, I'm going to be able to see chat again. I never thought we'd see chat ever again. You guys were gone. Wow. Well, this guy made something very cool. So the immigration bug is as follows, and I was going to link it in here. I did link it. So yeah, so your base housing happiness is 40 when you play on very hard. So before you hit a population of 300, only base housing happiness is accounted for. So no matter what you do, your overall happiness is 40. If your happiness is below 50, people start leaving the city. This, however, only happens after population 200 because the game gives you a boost to prevent this immigration problem happening in the first place. If I had to guess, it has to happen until 300, but only crazy people playing very hard, so no one caught the bug before release. It's kind of a contentious thing. There's a whole bunch of comments here. But you can't have... Certain buildings don't unlock till 300. I think in some of the scenarios, or at least deciding what... I can always turn it on. We're literally on a tutorial mission, so let's just move on. Oh my god, this is so much better. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, hey, we fixed the this bug. This bug is fixed. Water flows. It probably had to do with the fact that it couldn't draw the animation based on how the screen was stretched. Wow, you saved the day, Kha'Zix. This is all tolerable now. I can actually read things. Wow. Oh my god, it even has amazing. And just as our population started going up, and this is probably this immigration bug, the other immigration bug, because of these two tiles, you'll notice that they aren't being filled. They're going to get filled now though, because we fixed the bug. But obviously, like, if we just never have difficulty ever again, then we'll fix it. Building and running cities cost money. So this is how we have our tax man. Notice this. This is the concern wealth right here. Nicer houses pay more. This is pennies. Villas, many monies. The advisor panel that tells us that we're morons. They want us to build a clay pit. Do we need to do this in this? Oh yes, there is a 2-to-1 ratio for business stuff. Kha'Zix saves the day, man. We may just hit 600. So, like, basically, this is what would happen in the regular game. Once you got past the, I'm sure we're still on the hard difficulty. Once you got past that barrier, that artificial barrier, people would start flowing into the city normally again. So I think that bug fix helped. At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised at the fact that we started feeding people over here mattered too, because we basically quit right around when this market got food. But this corner did get fixed too, but you'll notice it's still Tent City. Am I paying the same wage? No, Rome is paying the same rate I am. Where is my... Where's me? Where's, here. Increased my salary. So, one way to figure that one out is to look at, well, hello. I guess we need more prefixtures. But you can basically see these overlays are stupidly good. Caesar 2 had a lot of buildings that you had to care about coverage. And you really, really, really want to have as few intersections as possible with what you're doing. Lots and lots of, like, if you can, there's somebody, people have done all the math on this, but some kind of rectangular thing or something with like a hub and spokes to basically make sure that your walkers are always going in the same direction. Because what can happen is, like, because I built this moronic thing in the corner, hey, there are the little flags. Whatever, if they decide to always go the other direction, they're going to eventually stop going just by luck. Which there's a lot of walkers in this game, and the other one, like, a building would produce one walker, and they walked a lot slower. You'd have to wait for them to do their thing. Like theater coverage, we have one theater here, and you can see that it says it will, you know, the tallness is how recently things have passed. So they can give you a clue for what the walker coverage is. So some of these buildings, I think the prefixture I estimated it. This is what I do, is I just try to estimate like how far is optimal coverage, and somewhere between 9 to 12 to 15 tiles of walk space is about what's useful. It's like if this thing went a lot longer, like this is kind of the limit for how far something should go. Like tax coverage would probably be a really good answer here too, because we have this forum and we have this. And so far no one's collected. We have no workers. We have workers. But yeah, I mean, things can be finicky. What also can be happening is you're getting micro shortages. So like if you're worried about, if you're working with the other, here, all 8 goods are here. If you're working with some of the other goods, if they hit 0, all of a sudden people get pissed off as soon, whenever the demand hits. The overall ones are going to show you, like in Caesar 2, there was basically a score each building got from 0 to 9 for entertainment. So like this is showing you not the coverage, but it's showing you sort of what their entertainment value is. So that can be a clue too. Hey Gruff. Kha'Zix saved the day with the better version of Caesar 3. It's not what I was looking for. It doesn't seem that immigration fixes oh, this game's great, Gruff. Kha'Zix has been playing it through, and I'll probably do a little bit on stream, a little bit off stream kind of thing, because, you know, I've not been doing well health-wise, so when I have some time that I can sit down for more than like 30 minutes or like half passed out in bed, you get the drill. You'll see some of it, particularly if we get to some interesting scenarios, because some of them are going to be, I think, a little bit repetitive at the beginning. We're still in a tutorial, but I wanted to check this out and see if it, you know, did the thing. Well, we actually have a stable city for once. Usually something's on fire in this game for me. Yes, so there's something called the Julius mod. There's a GitHub. You want that, because that's straight up the best. This is amazing. I set up through DXWin an older hack that someone made just to fix the resolution. And it worked, but we had issues with tearing or something that caused like reservoirs to not load correctly. So you couldn't tell there was water in them, but you couldn't tell there was water in them. So we need to look at obvious issues here. We got plenty of food. Markets have food. These guys complaining that we don't have any tax, man. $0. $0.
My governors think money grows on trees.
Uh-oh. Caesar's mad. We ran out of money, so we're allowed to run a deficit for a brief period of time. We should probably try to get this water now that we're not stuck. Get this water for the bathhouse. Caesar 2 is also very good, and quite a bit different than Caesar 3. You're gonna lose, by the way. Hey, they actually are showing the overlay. May just kick some people out of their homes. Caesar 4 is not made by the same people and is not as good. If you have an interest in playing this game some more, there is a game called Zeus and a game called Cleopatra, which is the same game. And I think you would enjoy them because it's basically the next iteration of this game. They actually show you the catchment area on this. Yeah, Caesar 4, no bueno. It is, maybe it is called Pharaoh. But yeah, they did one in Egypt. It's Pharaoh and Zeus. Those are the two. We're gonna get kicked out by Caesar, by the way, and it's gonna be real sad. Probably need to offer more jobs, huh? So let's make some jobs. Where are those clay pits? No. Guys thought they could offload all their food. I may honestly need more. I don't know what that message was, but if that's that I need more workers, that's exactly the sign I needed. But my goal here is because wrestling's going to be on and I need to eat dinner. I literally spent all day dealing with doctors and being stuck in offices, and then whatever I could catch up with my office when I got back. We need some employees. They're really gonna hate living here, but... Oh. Well, in 12 months, Caesar is going to fire me. Can you please give me the 650 so the scenario can end? So what eventually happens is your favor rating falls so low that you just lose. But all I really need to have happen here is just one more influx of people. And that would honestly be enough. Oh yeah, that's the best part when you lose at this game. Oh my god, yeah, they just send the, he just sends in the Legion to just squash everything. But maybe if this pottery can get, I don't think we're going to get out of debt.
Enough! You will mock Caesar no more!
So, and the reason that there's a delay, like, man, well actually, if we actually upgrade a few buildings, we'd actually probably get there. I'm gonna continue to spend Caesar's money. He's gonna smash all of this down and build a casino. Just gardens it is. Give me gardens. Give me all the gardens. There's, see if a couple of them expand, we'll have enough. Trade is open. Yup. Yeah, they will have... That's amazing that they coded that. I thought that was really cool that they'll have a change of heart. Like, if you appease them, everybody leaves. You just gotta use... And that's how it worked! They would literally hire... Well, when Rome started falling apart, they started paying the barbarians, that they still called barbarians, to defend their lands from the other barbarians. But, hey, you're good, you're good. Okay, so I have to authorize trade. I don't think we're going to get enough. Oh, we have to pay to open the trade route. Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, so the default is trade. Oh, there's people coming. This is usually how I beat this mission. I need some water. We will go to the next mission. Oh my goodness.
You learn quickly. You now have the skills to complete a real assignment.
Final city funds.
From now
minus
on, you can choose your career's direction.
32.
Take the more peaceful province to concentrate on governing, or the more dangerous one to confront Rome's enemies.
Oh my goodness. Negative $3,200. Oh dear. Alright, so now we get to choose Tarentum, slightly dangerous province. Capua. So you basically get a choice in the campaign of whether to go with a city building or one that involves defense. So we're going to go with city building.
Caesar is at today's gladiator tournament and is unable to see you himself. He has asked me, his proconsul for Roma, to brief you on your next assignment. Now that you have proven your skills, you are to found a small city just south of Rome. To build the city up to a modest level, you must provide more goods and services than you have achieved thus far. Plan carefully. Rome's Senate expects a good return on the starting money it entrusts to you. Your new province is rich in resources. Set up industries and trade routes, and export goods
You got
to
4
earn the
games
extra
eaten up.
funds that you will need.
And a
Make
2,000.
sure your
dude.
citizens pay their taxes, too. You should construct a dock so that you can trade overseas. Build the dock on the river with the flotsam, and make sure that it has a warehouse nearby to store exports and accept any imports. Trade ships will approach your dock when you open a sea trade route and tell your trade advisor which goods to buy and sell. Like most buildings, the dock needs road access to labor. Caesar's expectations for you are not excessive.
Really?
He will rate your performance in 5 categories: peace, prosperity,
Here's
culture,
the goals for all of them.
favor, and overall population size. But the goals he has set you are rather low. Anything else that he asks of you should easily be within your power to provide. He will be particularly pleased if you fulfill his requests promptly. Oh, and a word of caution. Heed carefully any reports of worsening mood among your citizens. Your people will not forgive much just because of your newness to governing. If your city has high taxes, low wages, little food, or lots of unemployment, it will be hard to attract
Unfortunately,
immigrants,
eat it up.
and citizens
The fourth
might
game
turn
and
to
any game
crime.
they made after it
Your
is
advisors
not made by
are always
Impressions,
available with help and
and
advice.
Sierra already went under.
A large part of the
And it's
secret
just
to
not
good
as good.
governance lies in using all of the information at your disposal. Whenever things aren't going as expected, take the time to find out why and learn how to correct the problem. Capua is under no military threat, so your management skills alone will ensure your success.
But you do get 3 really good games, so... Sure, monthly autosave. That's a new feature. So, let's, so there's a few things we want to keep an eye on here. So we have sheep. I think the sheep just get in the way. I don't think they're not wolves. They don't kill your people. So it looks like all of our fallow fields are down here. Fertile fields. They don't have a farm on them. They can't really be fallow yet, can they? So we have to make some decisions. So you can tell here with the flotsam and the flotsam jetsam going down here, that this is the one. This is the water emperor. Sierra was one of the best companies, but they also had like they had Roberta Williams and like all these brilliant people. So I'm not sure we are allowed to break it. So we're just gonna clear this land. And we're gonna start building this way. Question is, do I just want to go in, balls in? So in this one, we also get access to different farms. I don't think the farm production changes based on how much of the field you actually are on top of. So it does need access to people, though, so we're going to do this. Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's good for you, but it's like a waste to them, isn't it? Been there. I'll slow the game speed here for a minute. Actually, I could probably just save the. Oh, so as you get levels done, they unlock the. If it's the newer game, meh. Unfortunately, like a lot of these new ones that come out. In fact, I might show it on stream at one point. There is a new game called what do you call it? It is called Golftopia. If you were really into sim golf, they made a really cool game that is definitely a really good successor and possibly better than sim golf. No wonder hunger is going to halt immigrants. I haven't built anything yet. Go away. I'm debating here. So this road, why don't I just build it on this road? Let's try this. Ninja Golf 2. What the heck is that? I was trying to think of like, because I'm going to eventually have to figure out the most efficient way to build a lot of this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll try something like this. We'll put a bunch of houses in it and see what happens. my goodness, you had to... That's amazing. They took the training wheels off on this level. Debating where I want to put my reservoir here. Probably more towards this. Well, if it's more central. The problem is this. Oh, I forgot the game speed's low. That might have something to do with this. They really like baths, so I'm gonna make sure that's in here. Need an engineer's post. Prefecture. Got the granary. Gonna need a forum. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. I'm not exactly thrilled. 2001 is probably... Sierra Online was still fine. And Impressions. They had a lot of reinventing and things that happened in the late 90s. But in my unpublished novella on the great video game crash that no one talks about, right around 2000 a lot of things changed, and that's pretty much the end of a lot of games that we liked, probably. I'm gonna make all these people mad. I'll just put it right here. 1, 2. I think I need more water. Workers. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, it's just that many of those Total War games are just really bad. But, I mean, it's certainly better than Elden Ring, so... So you notice food production has the largest strain on all of our food services. On all of our services, because every farm is like, yes, 10 people. Oh. Oh, that's a problem. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm just going to embed a prefixture here. Sorry about the fact that it's all on fire. Sorry, guy. Granary is down. Yeah. It's hard to get it all right, you know. Man, you have me so excited about this, Kha'Zix. You have no idea how much I fought to get Caesar 2 to run properly. But that one actually runs in DOSBox, so... But this is one of the early games, like, you see how you get all this nice feedback that shows you, like, when stuff is working or not, and it also, like, is how your city grows. Like, why SimCity is really cool, right? But games like this, there's a lot of functionality as opposed to, like, oh, it's just another building in SimCity, like what the people build. Here it's a bit more meaningful. So we need to get industry started before we can grow. So we got pottery again. So can I do pottery right here? I'll give them school too. School. We're gonna need more people for raw materials. We can just go up here. I think clay pits have to have about the same distance to the Yeah, Finward is Yeah. Well, SimCity, it's a lot more clear what that optimization looks like. At least until the later games. We really need to get these, How much money did I actually end up siphoning from that disaster of the last level? Okay, I was bumped back down to a realistic salary. But that salary carries with you, so you can always bail your city out, even though it's not a lot of money. I suppose if you're making a crap ton of money. Caesar 2, it's absolutely vital. I believe that the optimal ratio here is still 2 to 1, so we're gonna work that. Yeah, SimCity 4 is still my favorite. I'm not really a huge fan of like City Skylines is cool, but it's still not like it's just there's parts of the game that just don't work for me. And just every time I sit down to play it, I'm just like, eh. It's just it's a missing element, and I can't even describe what they are. It just doesn't work for me. Naturally, I built this in a way that I have to go. So you gotta be careful in this game because you only have so many workers. So like, well in Caesar 2, fountains cost 2 workers. Yeah, it's fine, nothing wrong with the game. I think the game's great. I think it's just like all these DLCs and it's hard to know like what really is the right version, I guess. I don't know. So now we got our warehouse. Yeah, I think so. 4 was cool because then you could drive around. I loved SimCity 3000, but I do wish it had a little bit more. 4 you could get all the custom buildings in, like a lot of what do you call it? Like instead of being restricted to only certain cool buildings. Those baths in there. Yep, and you could build regions and stuff. We do not have enough workers, so now we need to go to the map of the Empire. So you'll see as the game goes on, it lets me scroll over. So remember we did this is the other city that got built without us. They buy pottery, so that's probably going to be our trade route. We did this city, but so like the cities that we did at the beginning of the game, I don't think that's one of our cities. This is the edge of the Empire, and as the game goes, the Empire will expand. These are just distant. I believe these are enemies, or at least as far as the game will care. So they buy pottery, so we're going to open up this trade route. And so they're going to buy 25 pottery. I forget the going price. The manual. Yeah, you could actually upload them if I'm not mistaken. There was a way to get a map to do that. And that was cool because it lets you basically trade with your other cities. And for people that really wanted to build like a mega city, you had to have all the cities basically importing and exporting the right stuff. How are we doing on like having enough for people? I'm afraid to build the Senate because we don't have room for race scale. Weird. Probably. Let's give the people what they want. I don't know what that message was. Ceres is unhappy. Oh no. I know where this goes. Give me a road of some kind. Actually, let's just do it here. I know exactly where this goes. I do not want my crops to disappear. I don't want fire to rain down from the sky. I think you can actually just build oracles to make sure, like, you're not going to get rewards from the gods, But they won't get pissed off. Wow, Niz is super into the city builders. I figured it would just be me by my lonesome self. Look at all these people moving in. There's nowhere to move into, guys. Oh my god, I have villas. Hovels. They do not count as religious access. I was right. Well, they... yeah... Hey, don't steal my things, Mercury. Why are you mad? Are there no workers? No workers. Okay, I guess we need to build them another temple. So this is how I handle this. Just gonna build them another temple immediately. Needs road access, so it doesn't collapse as well. Oh no. Don't do that to me, Venus. Something's on fire. The best part about disease is you also get everything on fire all at once. There's so much text happening and my city is currently completely on fire. Hang on a moment. Where's the hospital? Hospital, please. Need more workers. Yeah, I totally got a plague. Oh, okay. Okay. Disease is a big problem. Look at my people need to be in the clay pot world. I really don't like. Oh, from StarCraft. This is... I remember watching this. It comes in with a million science vessels.
히드라가 한 번씩만 공격하면 다 터집니다. 야, 저기 뒤에 내가 말씀드리게 가다가 아파.
Oh, we reached 500 citizens. Hey, the plague stopped. So we're out of money, by the way, so we really need those clay pots to happen. Okay, so industry needs to be, like, overly... Plague! It's only got a few more minutes here, because I do want to sit down, eat. Factorio, a game that they, it's one of those games that the devs keep trying to make it a game that it is not. Oh, okay, we got the clay going. No, people need to stop getting really sick. I think I need a barber. I think that's actually the issue as opposed to hospital coverage. Well, there's the hospital walker, but we do need a barber, I think. Because that will probably stop this. I didn't build one. You even need them in Caesar 2. They're very important.
You got...
Oh, I got an injection of money at the expense of favor. I'm really gonna have to think about how I want to, like, make hubs or something, because road access, they do now have the mech spider. It didn't used to be in the game. All I hear is coughing. Sounds like my life. Well, did I get in the theater? No. Please don't accept extra wheat. I'll build another granary first, because you never know when one is gonna just erupt in fire. Oh no! This is how we lose. How do we make oil? We could probably squeeze it over here. Olives, okay. Olive juice, you too. I don't know. This looks bad for our hero. I'm not gonna lie. Where? Why don't I see it? I certainly hear it. Oh, it already was put out. What the hell's blowing up now? Oh, that's not good. No game. Well, am I not allowed to over this? Not allowed over this. Well, in that case, I don't know who you are, but see you. I don't even know why I'm trying to put water here exactly. I could have just done this. My hospital's like not functional. I don't have enough hospital workers. There's a bush there. Oh my goodness. I guess I'm not allowed to road over. I'm not allowed to go over Edge Road. Okay, now I have water over here. Rebuild the house. Okay, this is a prefixture and engineer's course. Baths. A barber. What's that? What a mess my city is. I haven't played this game in too long. How come nobody's taking stuff away? They haven't bought anything. Is there a trading post? Oh, this is the trade center. Oh, it is taking all the pottery. There's just not enough warehouse space. So what we need to do is build a secondary warehouse. It still needs road access. Well, we managed to get to 2 oil. Only in March. How are taxes doing? 3 whole dollars. Oh no. So what do these guys need? We need to improve the desirability of the area around. I don't want to spend too much money on this. Oh, that upgraded that. What's funny is the tax building, the forum, actually makes taxation happen. Or sorry, improves the value. Believe it or not. Here you can actually see you can see where is this market that we built? The market's over here, right? So you can see that market access doesn't make it to this line. So it tells us we have to build a market down here. Hopefully we don't run out of money in the meantime. How's our trade going? We've still not had any pottery. Oh, export. There we go, there's your answer. So we're going to find out how many units. Here's the traders. Up to 5 oil. Is this percentage? Oh, production. What a ragtag thing I built. I'm doing it, man. You gotta give me some time, man. I guess I need more warehouse action. Do not accept wheat from this man. This is where overbuilding can really hurt you. Like I don't know how. I think it's every 100 pop needs a wheat. Moving on taxes. Things keep breaking. The music changed. Remember, our goal was 2,500 pop. I'll probably have to pick this up later or tomorrow. But guess what? Many of the scenarios are similar with higher challenges and harder maps. So if I finish this one offline, there will be more. But here's sort of what we're going after if you've never seen this game, since we're going to stop in a few minutes here. So now that we're out of the tutorial missions, you have to appease these 4 factors So peace is, well, we don't have invaders, but just anything that basically destroys buildings and people being pissed off and causing damage. Prosperity is linked to money and growth. Culture is, well, they're telling you libraries, but libraries, theaters, and favor is not pissing off the, did we actually miss the request entirely? Should I have just had those in? No, it's still in there. We have 23 months to comply. Just the sooner you comply, you get a bonus. Usually prosperity is the last thing. Oh, we really have a dense, oh no. So what's happening with our hospitals? Here's our barber coverage. So you only get one of these columns like this. The game builds 2x2s if they can. What's the other health stuff? We have baths. Clinics. What's a clinic? You can see hospital access. So the issue is no clinic access. Wow. Wow, we might just lose right now. Oh, we don't have any doctors, so I'm dumb. Let's just try that. The good news is in this game is they will build up again pretty fast once a problem is resolved. But if you don't solve the problem... If you don't... Oh, no. Oh, well, they're on fire, so I'm not really sure if that's a... I'm not sure which problem that is at the moment. Oh, it's still raging. I always find it funny, because Plague literally burns the house out. And I guess that's what they did back in the day, because they didn't want it spreading. Alright, so now we have doctors. Help in need, so the dispatch is ready, so we can dispatch this. Absolutely. Is there a trade route that we can open? That see, they buy oil. They buy oil, olives, and furniture. So it even reminded me there, because I'm a dingus. We want to export olives above about 7 or 8 units. So one strategy you could use is to keep a few of them in the warehouse, because Caesar likes to demand a lot of things from time to time. We don't want to import marble. Can do furniture. So how much are we getting paid for stuff, by the way? Where's the trade income? Trade receipts, 1540. So we're in the positive. We actually are making money. Ah, that one's overseas. I'm coming. Our doctor coverage. There we go. So, maybe because normally hospital's not needed to, like, you have 1,000 pop. But you can see, like, the walker... Oh, hello. We actually lost a road here. Oh, there is a road there. It's just not shown because of the aqueduct. It can't show on the overlay. It can't show the additional layer. Hey, Huldu. We're just about to wrap up here. But Kha'Zix has got me playing the Caesar 3. I've been wanting to do it, even before Kha'Zix started playing it. And the Kha'Zix found the amazing mod that made everything better than the mod I found. Oh man, I built my house. But I'm going to have to strategize offline, figure out kind of how I want to build these, because you basically want to have as many of these like nice little functional pieces of property. They're just turning into casas. And, like, if the major issue that a building is having is that it has to be near functional building, like things are going well over here. The only way to really increase the if it's you need to increase the land value to have it grow more, then you know it's basically getting all of the things that it needs access to. Whereas over here, with these little tents, like, we know they're not, we saw in the overlays, the walkers are only getting about here. And I would say Kazakhs, it looks like it's about, like, 12 squares is about optimal, without you having to, like, build too many things on top of one another. Something blew up, and I didn't know what it was. I guess there's one thing I can look at is the, there you go. You're always constantly fighting this. But the problem is you only have so many workers, so you can't have endless of these. We're actually pretty close to beating the mission, to be honest. Like, we have, well, Favor will just have to come up. And the way you do that is you could basically send him lavish gifts. You can send him cheetahs and drafts and troop of performing slaves and a Greek manuscript. And those, if you can send them like once a year and they give you like a 10 bonus. Overpaying yourself also reduces your favor, but that's something you can abuse later on, where you can give a gift of your savings to the city to save you from Rome being invading you. But you see, like, we really don't need we just need the population and more, you know, just everything will just kind of come. We should beat this mission pretty handily. But I'm gonna call it there. I have no idea who's streaming. Let's see who's streaming. Maybe we'll pick this up again tomorrow, depending on my schedule, which has been stupid. Oh, Navitas is playing. Oh man, it's Nest Monday. Also, I'm gonna say hi to. Oh, well, I don't know. We go to Jackbox, too. There's a lot of people streaming. You know what? I'm gonna say hi to Alkaline Zanny. But Twintail Nami's playing some Nest stuff. Navitas is playing, what do you call it? They're about to start, so I'll just say hi to them. Have a good night, everybody.